I think that he has set a very poor standard. He has done nothing for African Americans. They are worse now than just about ever.
And welcome back to Daily Wrap. Time for Yea or Nay. That was, of course, GOP frontrunner Donald Trump Sunday on ABC's This Week, talking about how President Obama has done nothing for the African American community in this country. Mr. Trump says he would win the African American vote as well as the Latino vote. Do you think Donald Trump will win the African American vote? I think I'll go to Unger first on this one.
We can deal factually with the Latino vote because he's been telling us he's going to win it, and yet the poll out today says 75% of Latinos can't stomach him. I am absolutely stunned by what he said in that setup, that things are worse for African Americans today than ever. I would like him to get in his time machine that I'm sure that Donald can afford and go back to Jim Crow South, Mr. Trump, see how it was then.
Did he say ever or before he took office?
I thought he said ever.
I thought he said before he took office.
Can we replay that? Because I think he said ever. He said ever.
Ever?
Yeah. Thank you. Oh. I pay attention.
I hate it when I have to agree.
And then you're going to tell me that Trump speaks the truth. He says something outrageous. It's true. He talks from his heart.
The unemployment rate for blacks is hideous and horrendous and much worse than when he took office. You can make the arguments that the black community is much worse off than before he took office. I don't think
there are numbers to support that.
Yeah, I don't think you can say he's done.
The numbers are not based on the president.
And I don't think you can say ever. That's where you got me right.
I think if Trump hadn't said some negative thing about African Americans in the past, and if he could give a way to improve that situation, then sure he could get the vote. Because people aren't voting about, they want their kids to have a better life than they had. Exactly. That's what they're going to vote about.
And what we're all missing here is that he already has the endorsement of a major African American figure.
Yes, Dennis.
Which one?
Dennis Rodman.
And Dennis Rodman. In that case, I take back everything I've said.
Wisconsin Governor Scott Walker just got a major donation from the Koch brothers while visiting a pizza shop in New Hampshire. It's huge, as you'll see. That is the governor holding a $900 million donation from the Kochs. Actually, none of this is true, of course. The check was part of a prank, and the governor had no idea what was going on. As you may recall, earlier this year, the Koch brothers promised to spend around $900 million of their own money on a campaign in order to influence the outcome. The pranksters took advantage of this and asked basically the governor to take a photo, and right before it was shot, they flipped it around, and there you see that. So it was craftily done, I'll have to say. So assuming the Koch brothers do end up giving their money to Governor Walker, will it help him win the White House? It's an interesting question. Of course, money can't hurt, right?
Can't hurt.
Yeah.
It can only help. But they have a lot of power. It's not just money, and they go together. But yeah, I think that their backing will help whoever they give it to.
They're not going to back just one candidate, though.
Right.
Okay, they'll spread it around a little bit.
Exactly.
Distribution of wealth, so to speak.
They'll spread the love around a little
Not to
bit.
Trump.
Okay.
They wouldn't even.
That's not a bet. That's not a bet you want to get wrong.
Right. Not to Trump.
Speaking of Trump, Ann Coulter wants to be President Donald Trump's Homeland Security Secretary if that comes to fruition. Rick, I'm sure you have a lot of questions about this, one of which may be, is she even qualified? Well, according to outspoken conservative Ann Coulter herself, she can guess who the criminals are about 50% of the time. On the topic of immigration, Coulter said that we need to be tough like we were in the days of Ellis Island. Quote, we're assimilating you, you're here, you're going to be an American, there will be no celebration of Cinco de Mayo, there'll be no Ramadan, in fact, there won't even be a feast of the Immaculate Conception. We are an Anglo-Protestant country, and you will learn the Battle of Valley Forge. Ann Coulter as Homeland Security Secretary.
Who needs the Constitution? It's a big pain in the neck. Look, I mean, I'll tell you what, I am coming around to this. You know that I spent many years as a TV producer before this. I want the rights, man. You have got the reality show of all time. Donald Trump as president. Ann Coulter, what's her name, from Alaska. What a show. Sarah Palin.
Finally,
what a show.
tonight, the latest installment of Mission Impossible brought in about $121 million over the weekend, making it the highest opening weekend for its star Tom Cruise. Which brings me to my question, how long can the 53-year-old Tom Cruise look this young? I think I may have found Mr. Cruise's competition the same age demographic, however. Let's put him up. It's Spider-Man. Who will play Spider-Man next? Unger, of course. He's looking good. All right, that's all for tonight. Well, you are looking quite jacked there, I have to say. It's not a Photoshop, we swear. On behalf of Rick Unger, the best in the panel, I want to thank you for joining us. The Steve Malzberg Show. That's next.